What do you guys say to a rich, ooey gooey, delicious, cheesy broccoli casserole? I say absolutely yes, because who doesn't want that? Well, this one is really easy. All you need to do is cut up a head of broccoli. Kind of want them small, and if you really must, you could use frozen broccoli here. I'm starting with fresh though, and I want my pieces kind of small so they'll cook directly in the milky bechamel sauce. So cut it up kind of little, sort of chop. I mean, I guess you can just, if you wanted to, you could probably pulse this in your food processor, which you're gonna need to make your breadcrumbs anyway. I'm gonna go old-fashioned style and use a knife. All right, I already have some broccoli chopped up. And then I'm gonna start to make my sauce because it takes a few minutes to come together. So this is a bechamel using olive oil instead of butter, which is your normal. If you wanna go ahead and use butter, please feel free. You're gonna start your bechamel with 2 tablespoons of olive oil and then a 1/4 cup of flour. Making a roux, and this is what's gonna thicken your bechamel. And bechamel is a thickened milk sauce. So stir your flour into your oil. Now, standard ratio is 1:1 fat to flour, so it's a lot less. So what you're gonna have to do is be very, very careful when you're whisking in your milk. Do it a very little bit at a time to start off with. And it actually helps if your milk is a little bit warm, though I rarely go that step, but it helps avoid lumping. So does careful whisking in of milk. Small amount at a time. And as you add more, you can add more milk at a time, but you want to start off slow to assure that you don't have a lot of lumps. You might need to stop adding your milk and just whisk to smooth things out a little bit, which I am going to do because I see that lumps are forming. And then add more. This is a total of 3 cups of milk, and just whisk it in. And then what you need to do is bring the entire mixture to a boil. It's not going to thicken if it doesn't boil. The flour is only activated once it comes to a boil. So once you have all your milk incorporated, you can turn the mixture up to medium, high, or high. Just keep an eye on it because milk has a tendency to boil over and it makes a complete and total mess. While you're waiting for that, you can make your breadcrumb topping. I like to make my own breadcrumbs. This is 3 pieces of nice soft white sandwich bread. Packaged stuff is fine. Don't use sourdough here. I don't feel like it's the greatest flavor with the rich, delicious, creamy broccoli casserole. So straight up sandwich bread. Grind it up. And then you're gonna add about 2 tablespoons of olive oil to this mixture. And some salt and pepper. I wanna make sure that they get nice and coated, so that each piece of breadcrumb gets golden brown when you bake it in the oven. Salt and pepper, and then your breadcrumbs will be ready. You can make breadcrumbs and keep them in the freezer. They stay really well, and I actually use a lot of old bread for this. If it's starting to get stale, just grind it up and put it in the freezer and use it as breadcrumbs. Or make French toast out of it and put that in the freezer and then put it in the toaster whenever you want a piece of French toast. That's what I do at home. This is coming to a boil, slowly but surely. So I'm gonna add my broccoli, so it has to cook in there with the bechamel. I probably should wait for it to come to a full boil, and I'm not being patient. Because in my head I was like, it's gonna come back to a boil and everything will be okay, but I should give the flour time to activate before I do that. So now it's got the texture of like a thick cream, like a heavy cream. Add the broccoli. It's a lot of broccoli. It's gonna take a little while to cook. Make sure it's completely incorporated into your bechamel. So you just wanna cook this, stirring occasionally so that it cooks evenly until the broccoli is nice and tender. That'll take about 15 or 20 minutes. Okay, once your broccoli has cooked, you add 3/4 of a cup of shredded extra sharp cheddar cheese to the pan. Turn it off, stir it in. Have your oven preheating at this point to 450 degrees, and then transfer your already delicious broccoli mixture to a 1.5 quart baking dish. Okay, I forgot to season it, but It's not too late. Season it right in the dish if you need to. Give it a stir. Make sure you do stir it fully so that there's not just a big pocket of salt in there. And then top with your breadcrumb mixture. You want a nice topping. If you have a little bit extra breadcrumbs, you can go ahead and put them on top, or you can save them in your freezer like I said before. Then sprinkle with another 1/4 cup of cheese, and then you just get this into your 450-degree oven. You want it bubbling and golden brown, but everything is already cooked, so you don't have to worry about cooking anything. That should only take about 6 to 8 minutes. All right, this one's all for me. You guys make your own, okay? I mean, maybe I'll share it with the people in the room. Oh, whoa, it's so hot. Look at that though. Creamy, broccoli-y, but broccoli covered with cream and cheese, the best kind of broccoli. Wow, this is so, so good. All you broccoli and cheese lovers out there, run out and buy the ingredients for this and make it tonight. Let me know how you like it.